Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to your Week 9 update. First off, congratulations to everybody making it this far. We're past the halfway point. I know fantasy season, long, grueling process, takes a lot out of you. I want to thank you for sticking with it and making this a great season. Couple topics I would like to address. First, trade deadline. As we all know, NFL deadline was Tuesday. It was quite a day, magical day filled with unexpected and wild trades. I hope you guys were all paying attention because these fallouts from these trades, it's really where seasons, are decided. Um, as I previously stated in our league, I have not imposed a trade deadline. That's a decision that I made. I felt it was best for the league, and I think everyone supports it. I know everyone supports it. So, what that means is you can trade away as much as you want. Just don't trade with Coach Barry because he'll screw you over pretty bad. Another note regarding bye weeks. This week, there's a record six teams on bye. I don't have the teams in front of me. Someone was supposed to do that, but I don't have them. I know you're all You're pretty good managers, good coaches. You guys can figure it out. Quick Google search, you're done. Um, but that means six teams on bye, a lot of players on bye. That means you got to scour the waiver wire. You got to find those little gems, little tricks nobody knows about, and throw them in your matchup. Because this right here, I can promise you, weeks like this are when the season is won and lost. Moving on, a topic that I know is on everybody's mind: Week 9 powerhouse matchup of the week. Before I announce this matchup, I want to take a moment to apologize to all of you. So, quick background: when I make these matchups, I make them weeks in advance. I do that for a lot of reasons. Big reason being sponsorship deals. The sponsors want to know which game they're going to be involved with, so I have to make the schedule well in advance. I made a mistake last week. Last week, week 8, I announced this week's matchup for last week. So, last week was Kenny Sagandhi's Foley and Team Balls Deep Barry. Wasn't a real matchup because they didn't play last week. They play this week, which is why this week, the powerhouse matchup of the week, Kenya Sagandhi's Team Balls Deep. Foley Barry. Okay? That's the matchup. I screwed up last week. My bad. This week, we're doubling down. That's the matchup. Here we go. A little background. Barry's been on a tear lately. Coach Barry's been on a tear. He heard the doubts. He heard people doubting him, and he's been on a tear. Barry last week overtook the number one scoring spot in the league by about 20 points. He's sitting at something like 1034. Foley's around 1015. Number one offense in the league. On top of that, Barry's sitting number one in the West and number one overall in the league as a whole. Barry is on a 3-game win streak. He's an exciting team to watch right now. That's all I gotta say about that. Foley, on the other hand, slipping a little bit. Foley, as we all know, was kind of running away with the league a little bit. He had the best offense until last week. He was the only team to break 1,000 until last week. But now he's slipping. Foley dropped 2 games in a row, and his offense has basically been none. That's kind of been his strategy these past 2 weeks, is to try to not post points, really. Despite that, he's still sitting at number 2 in the league, and he still has the number 2 best offense in the league. But he's slipping a little bit. You know, you hear little jib jabs and little chitter chatters. People are starting to really question Coach Foley's ability to pivot, and can he actually bring this thing home? I don't know. Anyway, 2 high-scoring offenses going head-to-head, number 1, number 2, head-to-head. This is going to be a fun week. This is going to be a fun game. And I know I'm excited for it, and I know you guys are excited for it because you guys appreciate quality fantasy football. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. As always, any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me, your leader, Commissioner Riley. That's an update.